Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 16th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the state of California, frontal system passing through, bringing some precipitation with it. So nice to see it after the excessive heat we have been getting here across a lot of the state and much of the desert southwest. You can see there's an atmospheric river coming from the Pacific Northwest that extends across Pacific Ocean here. And we're going to take a look at our extended forecast because we got a nice inside slider dropping down. This is going to bring some very strong winds and a much colder air mass across the region as well. We got the potential off through the extended of another system dropping pretty far down as far as this latitude is concerned and may bring some additional precipitation chances to the state of California. Now, taking a look at the Doppler radar's combination, here you can see it brought some precipitation to the Bay Area. So nice to see it. Valley areas, of course, there's going to be better amounts across the higher terrain. This will be a little bit of snowfall for some of the highest peaks there. And look at the lenticular cloud activity there off to the east of the Sierra Nevada crest, Lake Tahoe. You're probably getting a nice view of that. If you happen to see that, share it with me on social media or email me. Find the email here on the YouTube channel. Now, taking a look at what's coming up here Thursday through Saturday, look at this north wind coming across the area. Got red flag warnings for very low relative humidities and some of these gusty winds up over 55 miles per hour, potentially for some areas. So heads up for that. We are still in fire season. Do not let your guard down. Wind forecast for Thursday, this is tomorrow. You can see some of these gusty winds. Probably going to be some locally higher gusts as well. Moderate impacts and again, difficult driving conditions. Elevated fire conditions will be present. Eureka National Weather Service, no exception here, moderate. They have the red flag warnings up for some of the southern locations here. And again, we'll watch out for that, the easier fire starts and rapid spread. We've also got wind advisories out there. You can see this does include some of the I-5 corridor here, higher gusts above 900 feet. And look at this, 900 to 2,500 feet up to 69 miles per hour. That's what a wind advisory means. And they've got this out there, so watch out for that. Isolated gust is 65 miles per hour. This ends for the North Bay here, 8 a.m. Saturday morning. I'll show you the winds here in a moment on the weather models as well. And red flag warnings again, all the way down across some of the coastal range as well. And beach hazard statements, watch out for this. Sneaker waves along some of the coastal areas, mainly Big Sur north, but just take that into account all the way up and down the California coastline here. This goes through 9 p.m. tonight. Don't turn your back on the ocean. The Pacific Ocean is huge. You never know what is lurking out there, especially watch your pets and your children. Now, gusty winds through Friday coming up here. Check it out. I mean, you can see some of these pretty big gusts. Look at Pyramid Lake, 59 miles per hour. Some of these strong northwest winds on the coastal areas and some of the higher terrain will be impacting the region here. I'll show you that more here in a moment. And there is a shower chance here for Thursday night. Check it out. 50-50 chance for a lot of areas. It's not going to amount to too much here, but it is definitely noteworthy. And looking at a little bit of precipitation here for Southern California is always kind of a big deal. Now, looking at high winds in the Mojave Desert slopes, look at this Mojave right there. You can see including some of the I-5 corridor. Grapevine, not too bad, but once you get a little bit further south, you're going to be dealing with some of those stronger winds, and you can see some of these gusts across the higher terrain. And again, more on that here in a moment. Check it out, Las Vegas National Weather Service. Warm and breezy today and Thursday, but look at Thursday night through Saturday. The temperature drop, gusty north winds, dangerous boating conditions, chance of precipitation for the southeastern portions. There's even a freeze watch here for the Owens and Esmeralda Valley, Central 9, Lincoln counties Thursday night into Friday morning. And take a look at Phoenix. What kind of sorcery is this? Look at these temperatures. You are going to see people walking around with their long underwear on. They're going to have their hats on and gloves are going to be out, thick jackets. I mean, this is kind of a huge shock to the system. This is going to feel like you're in an air-conditioned state here for a little bit across the portions of Arizona. Kind of laughing at that because of the extreme heat that Phoenix had been going through. I think it was 21 straight days of setting a record, a daily high, just witnessing history with that heat wave. And now we're going to go through this cool down here. It's going to be quite glorious. Now, taking a look here at precipitation amounts, you can kind of see the North American models we scroll through today. It was not really doing too well. I mean, there was more precipitation some of the models were showing with this frontal system, but you can see that kind of moving across the region here. And then we deal with this inside slider. You can see that frontal system sagging across Nevada here. That's what's going to be starting to ushering in these very strong north winds here. A little bit of snow for the higher terrain as well, and a few showers are possible for Southern California. I'm going to back that up as we go on into towards, looks like Thursday afternoon, maybe some of that starting here, and then eventually Thursday night into Friday morning. But that's what's ushering in this much cooler air mass as we go on in through the day Friday. And I wanted to point this out here. Some of the snow levels will be dripping or dropping down towards 7,000 feet, I-80 northward towards the Oregon border. So heads up for that. It should not amount to much. We were never expecting much out of here, but you could, any kind of snow on the roadway can be a problem. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Plus the cool and raw conditions across the backcountry. Now, total precipitation in inches. What I want to show you here is the initial system rolling through here. And then we have the next one, the inside slider swinging down, not bringing a lot of precipitation amounts. But then if we look off into the extended, there's going to be some cold air aloft moving off the coast of California, which could possibly be ejecting back towards the California coastline here, some of the west coast of North America. And that could be bringing additional rounds of precipitation chances as we go through the extended forecast. It's a fantasy forecast right now, but the models in the European and the GFS continue to show some troughing off the coastline through the extended forecast. So starting to get a little bit of confidence in that scenario unfolding, but we will be watching over the next few days. We got a long ways to go for that forecast, and this will kind of give you a visual of what I was just talking about. Here's yesterday afternoon's European model. I'm going to put this into motion. Frontal system going down across the region here. That's what's bringing us our rainfall today, by the way, across much of central and northern California. So we swing through here. There goes that inside slider, and you can see this really set up shop here across the southwest USA atmospheric river into the Pacific Northwest, and then we bring this troughing down off the coastline here. Then the big question is, how long is this going to sit off here? Is this going to be totally cut off, or is this going to get picked up quickly and eject back up across the northeast and across the west coast of North America, off to the northeast, I should say, and then maybe some troughing still hanging on around as we go through the extended forecast. We'll be watching that, so you've got plenty of time to worry about that. Total snow in inches, just want to drive home the point. There's a little bit for some of the higher terrain, but the big story is going to be the winds and the very cool temperatures. You can see the models actually downgraded the amounts they're going to be falling across the higher terrain there. If we take a look here, so I've got the pressure on the right, mean sea level pressure, and I've got winds at about 80 meters here, just off the surface on the left. State of California is right here. We're going to put this into motion here, and you see nothing too crazy, but watch when you see the high pressure start to build in here across Oregon, and watch these winds pick up. See, here comes that high pressure, and look at these winds really driving down across the Sacramento Valley out of the north, across portions of Nevada. We start some of these strong westerly winds here across the Sierra Nevada initially, but then that's going to turn northerly and northeasterly, and look at some of these wind speeds here as that high pressure really builds in across Northern California and portions of Nevada. These north winds drive all the way down across Southern California, desert areas, much cooler air mass rolling in here, low relative humidities, gusty winds, fire conditions will be present. So at the end of the run, you can kind of see that high pressure over portions of Oregon, Nevada, and those strong offshore winds racing all the way down across the desert areas and Southern California. So if we take a look here at the relative humidity, I'm going to just kind of scroll through here, and you'll see we're dealing with, pretty typical humidities here across the state of California. But watch what happens as we scroll on in towards a Thursday afternoon. And then eventually as we go on into Friday morning, check it out. Look at that dry air, and that's because of the offshore winds coming off of the higher terrain there that really dries things out across the region. So that's why the fire danger is going to be high. And accumulated max 10-meter wind gusts. I wanted to show this as well. So we'll scroll on in here as we go on in through Thursday night. You'll see these winds really pick up. Look at some of these gusts across the Sierra Nevada, even Sacramento Valley down to the San Joaquin Valley, some gusts up to 40. And especially the transverse ranges here, down across the peninsula ranges, some very strong winds. Desert areas, look at the California Nevada border is just absolutely raging here. And if you look down to the bottom right, you can see the max. There's 77 miles per hour, some isolated location out there. But there's going to be some gusts, probably in excess of 50, 60, 65 miles per hour for some isolated areas here. So heads up for that. Pretty good winds rolling across Nevada as well. Now, I'm not going to put the high temperatures on here because we're getting to that time of year where things are definitely much more comfortable. We're not looking at temperatures in the hundreds or upper 90s or anything. So I did want to point out that the backcountries are going to be quite cool. And if we go to Friday morning here, look at some of these low temperatures across the Sierra Nevada and a lot of portions of Nevada, and you're going to feel that cool down into the valley areas as well, coastal regions here and down across Phoenix, Arizona, cooling down dramatically. The desert areas, Las Vegas. Then we go to Saturday, Sunday. Then we start to modify a bit here, and then we watch for the extended forecast. That low pressure gets churning off our coastline, and we'll see what that's going to do. Here's the 6 to 10 day. Here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation here. Still have a little bit of above average here for Central and North California. 8 to 14 day, and you got that above average signal here as well. And that's probably because of that system that's been developing in the models out there as we go through the end of the month of October. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. With lots to talk about here on through the extended forecast over the next few days. We're going to watch everything, break it down, get some model agreement, and I'll report back tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you guys then.